What's up YouTube? I'm Gastrodons74 here, bringing you Week 7 of Matt Oshea's Ocean League. This week we take on Devil Angel and his Greenwich Gastrodons. We are going into this game with a 4-2 record after a brutal yet deserving loss from last week, and he is going into this game with a 1-5 record. Now, he might not have the best record, but his team is actually probably one of my favorite teams ever, only because it consists of so many fun mons to use. His team is very hyper offensive. So this battle is going to come down to whether or not his offense beats my defense or my offense beats his defense. I can't talk. So there's that because my team's pretty offensive this week. I'm going to go over his team. His team consists of Mega Absol, Magearna, Salamence, Toxapex, Staraptor, Rotom Heat, Lucario, Rabombi, Frostlass, Torterra, and Lantern with status Z moves. Lantern Z moves is good because Z Heal Bell can heal it up, giving it somewhat reliable recovery. So that's a pretty good thing for his team. And my team is going to be Mega Charizard Y, Superior, Florges, Probopass, Zeraora, and Slowbro. Yes, we are bringing Probopass again, mainly because of Magearna, obviously. I'll get more into it in the team builder. And we're getting into the team builder. So first off, we have Mega Charizard Y. Mega Charizard Y is running a Dragon Dance, Flare Blitz, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. Max attack, 180 speed with the Jolly Nature, and the rest into HP and 4 in defense. Yes, we're bringing a physical Charizard because, again, his offense is insane, but his defense is quite lackluster. And if Toxapex basically doesn't come, and if Toxapex comes and it doesn't have Haze, I basically have a huge chance of winning the game because nothing switches into my combination of 3 attacks. Rotom Heat might be a problem, but Rotom Heat is pretty easily worn down. And Salamence, I have plenty of things for Salamence. Those are the only 2 things with Rock Slide that's kind of iffy. But outside of that, this kind of just wrecks his entire team. I gotta be careful because he does have a lot of priority users on his team, meaning good priority. Mega Absol, Sucker Punch, and Lucario Extreme Speed is 2 good examples. But outside of that, again, this just wrecks house on his team. Next up, we are bringing a Superior. Superior is running Leaf Storm, Hidden Power Rock, Leech Seed, and Substitute. 232 speed with the Timid Nature, 172 special attack, and 104 HP with the leftovers. I brought this set to mainly beat the Torterra. This can set up on Torterra, and even though he's not really grass weak, if I'm boosted up enough, it doesn't matter what he's weak to, because Hidden Power Rock kind of goes in on his team, and that's why I decided to bring Hidden Power Rock. And with the only thing that can really wall this is the Magearna, and I can just subseed that down to death. I do gotta be careful if it starts setting up on me though. But good thing is Magearna does not get reliable recovery. So that is the Superior. And yeah, and it can also set up on the Lantern as well. Lantern and Torterra. Which I wouldn't be surprised if he brought one of those two. Probably the Lantern more, but Torterra is definitely a good check for Zeraora. As his team, again, defensively isn't the greatest. But Lantern can also do that with Volt Absorb. Next up, we have Florges is called I Used to Be UU because he names his Salamence I Used to Be Uber. So, you know, fun jokes there. This is a pretty standard Florges with 248 HP, 228 defense with a Bold Nature, Moonblast, Defog Synthesis, and Aromatherapy with the Berry. This completely walls Mega Absol outside of Iron Tail. And even with Iron Tail, I have the Berry. I believe with this investment, I can take a knockoff into a Iron Tail because he'd knock off the Berry. And Iron Tail will do a lot. I just have to be careful of an SD set. And Florges is just mainly here because it does really good against his team defensively because his offense, again, is very scary. And it walls the Salamence pretty well. I gotta be careful of flying EMZ Fly, of course, Absol, Lantern, because Lantern special attacks average at best, and Frostlass as well. And that's basically the Florges set. Next up, we have Probopass. Probopass is running Stealth Rock, Power Gem, Earth Power, and Volt Switch with the leftovers. Magnapool ability with 248 HP and 252 special defense. Modest nature. Probopass does very good work against his team. I'm really glad I picked this thing up because for a tier 5 mon, it does really good against his team. This is mainly here for the Magearna because the only threatening set Magearna has is a Shift Gear set and Calm Mind that boosts special attack. But if he has those 2 moves, then he'll have 4 move slot syndrome because this Probopass walls any set Magearna brings that doesn't have Aura Sphere and Focus Blast, and if he's got Aura Sphere or Focus Blast, then one of my other mons can take care of Magearna fine. But that was the main thing Probopass is here for. Probopass can also wall at Rabombi very hard, and it can also wall a Rotom Heat because yes, Overheat does a decent chunk, but then he goes -2. I'll get leftovers recovery. He doesn't want to take a Power Gem. Staraptor, that's choice locked into something not named Close Combat. And it does well against the Frostlass as well, because Frostlass can't do too much to this thing. Probopass playing a big role, getting rocks up would be cool, and Volt Switch is there to pivot around his team. Next up, we have Zeraora with Plasma Fist, Fire Punch, Knockoff Sub, Max Attack, 240 Speed with an Adamant Nature. Fire MZ because a Fire MZ Fire Punch almost OHKOs Magearna. If not, it basically does. So that's what that's there for. And it does a lot of damage to Torterra as well if I need to use it against that. Plasma Fist is really good against his team, especially his one annoying defensive mon and Toxapex. It just does so much damage. So it destroys Staraptor that isn't Choice Scarfed, and if it's Choice Scarfed to like Brave Bird, I can take that hit fine. Does good against Absol. Got to be careful with Sucker Punch. Substitutes there for that. And Frostlass, because Frostlass, Focus Sash, Destiny Bond's kind of annoying, but since I'm faster, I don't really have to worry about that problem too much. And that's basically the Zeraora. It's basically there to spread some damage against his team, as it usually does. And lastly, we have a Assault Vest Slowbro with Regen, of course, Scald, Psychic, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower, 252 HP, 208 Defense with a Bold Nature, and 48 Speed. I believe this was speed creeping a no-speed Toxapex, I think. I'm not completely sure. The Slowbro does really good work against the Staraptor and the Salamence, especially the Salamence. I do have to be a little careful with Fly Z, but I can still tank the hit anyway. I could switch out for Regen, go on the floor just to come back, and then what's Salamence going to do to Slowbro? So, and Lucario was becoming a serious problem for my team because, again, his offensive threats. And Lucario was the only thing I didn't have anything for left. So Slowbro walls his stab moves. I got to be careful of, like, Dark Z or something like that, or an Electrium Z. It depends. If you got a Z move, it's a little bit of a problem. But outside of that, I wall the Lucario just fine. And that is the team builder for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that portion of the video. But now we're going to head over to Pokemon Showdown and watch the battle. So here we are in the battle, guys, and I'm going to be real with you. He prepped for the wrong team. Now, I didn't realize this until late into the battle. He did message me early in the battle, but I did miss it, so kind of on my fault. So this battle is going to be a little bit in our favor, if not very. Anyway, he didn't bring a Toxapex or Lucario, which is really nice to see. I thought it was Zeraora, and of course I can't get a lead matchup right to save my life, as he leads to Torterra. So I went into Superior as that my usual switch into a Torterra, as he just gets up his rocks when I go for a Substitute. And I decided, with no Toxapex on his team, I'm going to use Superior early game and then use Charizard late game. That's how I'm going to play this battle out. I'm just going to go for Leaf Storm on this Torterra as he switches into Magearna, which is fine because I can Leech Seed, Sub-Seed this thing down because, again, Magearna does not have any reliable recovery. I feel bad since he did prep for the wrong team. If he had, like, brought the wrong team, I would have, like, restarted the battle, make sure he had the right team with him. But since, like, I felt like I was going to put myself at a huge disadvantage knowing if he just prepped for my team after this, and knowing the 6 mons I would bring, because I'm not going to rebuild for this team. But that's why I did that. Anyway, we're going to just Sub-Seed this thing down a little bit. I could just stay in and Sub-Seed forever, because I'm only losing 5% health each turn, while he's losing a little bit more, I believe. As he's just spamming Hidden Power. I don't know what Hidden Power this is. But again, at this point in the battle, I don't know that he brought the wrong team. So I'm just playing it out as it is. Here, I'm pretty convinced he's just going to spam Hidden Power. So I'm going to send in Probopass as he does. And it's not Hidden Power fighting, thank goodness. I was really scared of that. But, you know, our sphere would make more sense anyway. As I'm going to get up basically back to full. Here, he is trapped as I can just put up my rocks. Because rocks really hurt his team. Yeah, they hurt mine. But I think his team actually gets hurt more than mine. Even though Charizard is 4 times weak to it. Anyway, since I do have the Earth Power in the set, he does have Energy Ball, which does not much, and I'm just going to Earth Power this thing, as it is going to do a decent chunk of damage, as he is being very whittled down, and this is basically the only thing in the way of Superior, so honestly, Superior I could use as well to clean up his team. But anyway, he's going to go for Energy Ball. I'm going to go for Volt Switch because I didn't want to knock out this Magearna, and then maybe he brings in, like, something else, like Absol and Swords Dance away against the Probopass. That's what I was a little scared of. And plus, this Magearna is at 2 health. If he wants to save it, like, then so be it. But I just go for Leaf Storm and knock it out, and Magearna goes down. And things are looking really good, as Magearna was probably the biggest threat on his team that he actually had brought. And here comes the second biggest threat, Mega Absol, because Mega Absol Swords Dance is very scary. Here I go for the Leaf Storm and I miss, but I'm actually faster than it, which really threw me off guard, as he does go for the Flamethrower. I calculated I could live any hit, so that's why I stayed in. And I decided I went for a Substitute this turn because I was fearing a Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch knocks me out. But he just goes for a Flamethrower. I'm just like, alright, he probably doesn't have Sucker Punch. And I go for a Leaf Storm this turn, hoping we hit the hit. Hopefully we hit the move, and we do hit the move, and Mega Absol goes down. So here I'm thinking, okay, that's pretty weird how he sent that out right away instead of like Salamence or something like that. But now I'm at +4. He sends in Rotom Heat. This is probably his best thing to take a Hidden Power Rock, which I do have, and he does actually take the hit, Fat Mon. But he actually goes for the Thunderbolt, and it doesn't even knock out the Superior, so That's cool. I can just knock out this Rotom Heat the next turn with the Hidden Power Rock. Things are looking very upwards, and this is where I started to notice, I'm like, Saphira's really running house on his team. And I'm going to get some Leftovers Recovery, and he sends in Rabombi here, and this is where I really noticed that he brought the wrong team. It's because I outspeed the Rabombi and knock it out with HP Rock. As soon as that happened, I'm like, I must have missed something. And I scrolled up, and I saw the message. I was like, oh, well, that sucks. But anyway, I'm at +6 now. HP Rock knocks out the Salamence. He's not Scarf, and then I can just Leaf Storm that Torterra. And even if Torterra does so happen to knock me out and I miss a Leaf Storm, I can just bring in Charizard and Flare Blitz for the win. So that's the game, guys. Not the most entertaining battle in the world. It's superior to Stat and got 6 skills. Again, this was only because he prepped for the wrong team. I can assure you that if he brought the right team, that he would have I would have a much harder time beating his team down, obviously. So that's what I'm trying to say there. GG to Devil Angel. I'm sorry that happened. It sucks. I know it happens. But anyway, we're going to move on to a 5-2 record. We're looking really good. But however, look at these standings. I'm going to throw them on screen right now. Look at our division. I am just in shock of how good my division is. The lowest seed is, I think, the Drunk Delibirds, and they're like 4-3. That's nuts in my opinion. And we have a pretty tough schedule coming up. We still have to face these 3 guys one more time each time. So if we lose those 3 games, we probably won't make playoffs. And we're a 5-2 record. But anyway, next week we take on the Toronto Leaf Storms, coached by OP Jelson. I believe he is taking over a team. So thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you enjoy Pokemon Draft League content, consider subscribing. That's all I got for you, YouTube. I'm going to get out of here. Have a fantastic day.